Hey Losi fans, this video is one of those where I've been wondering for a long time what the difference is between some axles that are available. 1022 says for the XXT front axles for GTX. And if you know anything about the GTX, you know it is practically identical as far as the suspension, front suspension area, and even rear from the LXT. It's based off the same stuff, all the same parts. So what happens if on the LXT you use these on there instead? And to try to look at and compare some stuff, we've got a double XT here. We've got the LXT. Then I've got a package. We'll check with the rims. We have LXT rims and a new package of double XT and a triple XT rims. And we'll kind of see what happens when you put those on there on the LXT. What kind of difference are you going to get? Will it maybe help you on your LXT to run more modern rims and not have to find the hard to find LXT size rims? There's some out there from aftermarket parts and then of course the Losi ones, but they're getting pretty hard to find. I think those are A1024, I believe, because wasn't this 77? Yeah, 77. So let's take a look and see. Wait though, maybe I won't use those. What do I got over here amongst all the junk in the garage? Yes, those are the LXT rims, I believe. Looks like these were never ever used, but they're a little rusty, crusty. Maybe the tires haven't been used, but the rims are a little crusty, got some dents in them. Let's see, compare the fronts. Yes, the deep offset is definitely LXT. So then these I know have never been used. That's definitely the double XT. Yep, all right, so we're good there. Don't need those, but at least we had these new ones to compare to make sure we got the right ones. We're not using the wrong rims. So now we need a triple XT. Let's go over to the Rubbermaid. Ta-da! All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Those are some rears of something. That's a front of, I'm going to guess Associated. There's another Losi rear, another Losi rear. Ooh. Aha! There we go. There's a Losi crusty front. That should be triple XT. That'll work. So we'll get out some axles I got over here in my parts bin, a whole bunch of axles. I don't think I have any of the 1022 in here. I think these are all LXT, or actually JRX Pro and JRX 2 type axles. So let me get them out and take a look and we'll see what the difference is. Okay, so right off the bat, we can see that this part right here, there's a whole lot more material from where the hinge pin goes through until you get to where the wheel kind of slides on. So that tells me that's to compensate. See, this is the double X one, right? Yeah, so it pushes the center of the wheel further out towards the outside. So the wheel is not out here, it's bringing it back in a little bit. Whereas if you had the LXT rims on there, they have that really deep offset, that would be pushed way out here if it was on this. And on the other ones, it's brought way close in. So I believe the idea behind this was that you wanted to get the GTX to be able to use the more modern wheels, like the double X ones that had that shallower, or not really shallower, but deeper offset in there, so that you didn't go over the legal limit and have your wheels way out too far for whatever roar or whatever the sanctioning bodies were at the time, rules that they had and everything. I think I wasn't racing at this point in my life, so I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that's what's going on. So I think this will help you get more modern rims on your LXT. And before I do some more stuff here, I'll do some measurements and everything and take a look at stuff. I will mention these are for sale. We have a few sets of these on oldrc.com on the store. The LXT normally, and this is the thing that a lot of people forget when they're putting their LXTs back together, if they don't follow the manual closely and just think they know what they're doing, they forget to put this axle spacer on the thing. Now, it says this is rear, but that's not true. This is for the front on the LXT. It is a rear offset spacer for later rear axles where they put the pinhole further towards the hub, and you couldn't use the A3016 anymore because that was too thick and you had to go with a little bit thinner spacer. But we've got some of those left, not a whole lot, and we've got a few of the rims as well. Not those LXT ones, those are mine, you can't have them. One of the things I'll mention here too, these are the Pro style axles, and these are the JRX2. And how do you tell the difference? There's no hole in the back for a set screw. And to be honest, I don't really know why they even bothered. That's something I should ask Gil some point. The idea I can kind of see was that you could tighten up the set screw onto the hinge pin that was going through it. But to be honest, unless all your E-clips popped off, I mean, and all the years I'm racing, I never had that happen. Who cares? I mean, yeah, I've never heard of anyone coming out, but maybe they did. Maybe things were, E-clips popped off and that was a common thing. But yeah, to me, it seems like an extra step. This is definitely an extra expense to have that drilled out and tapped, and then I have a set screw for it. Makes these axles probably, I would say, almost a third more expensive as far as machining costs and everything, because you got to do now two steps. You got to drill and you got to tap, and then you also got to pay someone to put a stupid set screw in the bag with it. So yeah, I think if I were ever remaking them, I probably would just do it this style, or not that style, this style, because why bother with this? I don't understand it. Chime in if you've ever lost an axle because the hinge pin came out in running your car because the E-clips came out here at the top and the bottom. I can't see that being a very common occurrence, but it must have happened, otherwise it wouldn't have bothered. So let's take a look at the measurements here and just see what we're working with. All right, so getting out the trusty Fowler calipers, it's saying that's about 0.740 from there to there. And we'll measure the other ones here too. All right, so I'm at home, I don't have a camera set up, so I gotta hold one hand and do this in the other. So this one's about, it was about 6.692. So it's actually shorter amount of space here. That, I don't know, it depends how deep the bearing area is on the front hubs, or the front wheels, if that makes a difference, if it's needed for nut space. I don't know, to have enough threads for the nuts to grab onto, I don't know. All right, I'm actually showing you this out of order from what I filmed it, but the first thing I'm going to show you is the stock axle on here, and with a spacer and without a spacer, with the LXT rim, the double XT rim, and the triple XT rim, and we'll just see what it looks like, what the issues are, if there is any, and what the differences are. We'll try and take a closer look here. Okay, so there it is without the spacer, and the first thing I can see is if there's any sort of deflection in the wheel at all when you're running, of course these are Proline tires, not the official Losi ones that would have come with, there's probably going to be rubbing right here on this, and you're going to have problems. So that's why you need the spacer. Interestingly enough, the GTX Explode does not show you using the spacer, even though you use the same rims and the same axles and everything as the LXT. I don't know why that is. I'll have to look at the GTX manual and see if it uses the spacer or not. But the Explode from Losi does not show the spacer on the end of the axle, so that is kind of curious. Here is the triple XT rim, and yeah, it doesn't work, rubs. I knew that was going to happen, but I just wanted to show you. So same thing is going to happen with the double XT rims. Can't do anything about that. It's going to hit. Now, that being said, one thing I do have over here that was actually on here before was this. These are some Proline. There's the flames there. I believe these are T2, T3, some sort of associated rim like that. And if you put these on here, if I can do it, ta-da-da-da-da, it works, and it works really well. You're pretty good there, though. Let's see. Yeah, that deflects as well. I probably had rubbing on this one racing, just didn't know it. But there's a good chance that would deflect and hit that. So they're not the best. Oh, but I would have the spacer on there, right? So then it'd be fine. So there you go. Use the spacer. And oh, I should mention, with the triple XT, spacer's not going to help you. The gap is so big from being centered on the on there. There's no way you can use this even with the spacer. It's not going to help you. Now, for testing, what I've done here is I've created basically a left front arm out of all of my parts, out of my parts bin. And I've put that A1022 in here real quick, and we're going to see how the rim kind of goes on to this axle. So hang on a moment here. Okay, so I've got that A1022 axle on the wheel for the double X, which I keep getting these confused. I got to keep going back and forth between those new ones and look and kind of verify, wait a minute, which one's which, because I can't keep it straight in my head. But yeah, this is the double XT rim with the GTX double XT axle. I say that 55 times fast. Right. But it is, yeah, it's right in line there. It seems really good. I think that's right where you would want it. Not much closer than that. So I'm going to put on the triple XT wheel real quick and see if there's much of a difference. All right, so there it is on the triple XT, and once again, I don't think there's much of a difference there at all from the double X one. So that means you should be able to use the triple XT modern rims on the LXT with this GTX axle without any issue. All right, and strictly for science, here's the LXT rims, and you can see it puts the wheel considerably further out on the would make your front track of your wheels much wider than if you used the double XT or the triple XT rims. So if you wanted cheater rims, this would be the way to go, and no one's doing any teching on your stuff. Use LXT front wheels on your more modern cars, or yeah, don't do that because that'd be cheating and you don't want to be a jerk about it. And then also for science, here it is on the double XT, the LXT front, and you can see once again it's definitely giving you quite a good space there. I'm getting in my own shadow, but yeah, cheater rims. If you want to get your truck a little wider, and maybe no one would notice, don't do that. Okay, so I was gonna test a double XT axle that I had. And then I went in and I couldn't get the hinge pin, and I forgot the hole is smaller on this. I forgot about that. For some reason, I only thought the double X buggies had smaller hinge pins in the front out there on the suspension arm, but it is the truck as well. So never mind, you cannot use these at all on the LXT GTX at all. They won't work. They're no good. Forget it. Saved you the trouble. So what have we learned from all this? Well, first of all, you should buy all these parts at oldrc.com. This has turned into one big advertisement. But no, really, you've learned that if you want to run more modern wheels, I'm not sure about the 22T. I don't even know what those have right now. I have a 22 SCT, so I don't really, short course, so I don't really know. Those are running hexes, I believe, and everything. I don't know what's on the 22T. But if you want to run something that was made for the triple XT, then you can do that on the LXT by getting the A1022. And if you are running LXT, don't forget your front spacers. You should have your front spacers in there. You don't have to buy them from us, but you should have your front spacers on there. And if you're running a GTX and you don't have the front spacers on there, contrary to how the Explode shows, you probably should be running spacers on there to prevent any rubbing. And if you want to cheat on a triple XT or a double XT, you can run LXT front wheels on it. Don't do that. Don't be a butthead. But yeah, so that's what we've learned today. If you have any questions or want me to try something else, I have a lot of parts of different things. This is all the JRX series stuff. I've been, not as much stuff of the double X stuff. And I even have a GTX now sitting somewhere. I have a 22 buggy, the very first one, never ever run. I've got Monster Beetle and a Brat and an X60 that's been run like 4 times. And yeah, there's my SCT, and what else I got around here? I don't know. I got too much stuff. There's something hiding over there. There's some stuff hiding there and there. I don't remember. That's some Tamaya. Someone remind me which one that is, because I don't really remember anymore. Oh yeah, there's an RC10. So yeah, I've got a lot of, oh, there's some pan card, a bunch of boxes and stuff. So yeah, you can ask me and I'll try something out if I've got the stuff for it, and I'll make a video. All right, have a good day. Hope you found something informative in this video. Bye-bye.
When he started losing.
Yeah, we almost became Kyosho USA.
Mm-hmm.
Suzuki, when he owned Kyosho, really liked us, and he wanted us to
was good.
do it.
The father was
Yeah.
good.